Hi everyone, welcome back to Pixel Forge Podcast.
That's going in the edit, by the way. Don't you worry, that's going in there.
Episode 21. I'm one of your hosts, Sean. I'm here with my co-host, Josh.
Hello again.
And every week we run through our business to tabletop and Warhammer gaming, and also the gaming news in general every week. We go through all of that stuff for you guys.
Busy this week.
Hope everyone's been good out there this week, had a good week, had a good day. And yeah, let's crack on with this episode. And we've got a lot to discuss this one, so
yes,
strap yourself in, get some snacks, and let's dive into it.
Yeah, so like we talked in the last episode, we're going to cover the big chunk of like the news of Xbox and kind of have a bit of a discussion. So I'm going to talk through wargaming news. And I'm not cutting content, although you'll see one model, though it's there's a model. I'm going to go through the business updates and briefly, and then just go through some of the news from the week. And a lot of it will be just kind of relaying that information. So I want to make sure we get good time to discuss the Xbox stuff, and then you get other gaming stuff Sean's got. So business updates. This is like the last confirmation. I've got West Norwood Market 1st and 2nd of November. We'll be there for a market, and then the 6th and 7th of December we'll be back at Brick Lane Market for a Christmas design and craft fair. So we've got two coming up. Very exciting about that, and I'll share more details as time goes on. Continuing to work on the website. Did a little bit more work this week. Again, it's been a bit of a busy week, so I didn't get as much done as I wanted. But all of the hyperlinks should work and go to places that they're supposed to now. And then also I've got some good progress on the commission I'm doing for Brush Liquor Club, which as we know is the other podcast with my friend Sean that I know from uni. I'll add a photo. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'll add a photo in here of some of the pictures I took for the progress. We've basically got the front half of the keep and the entrance done, which is pretty good. So yeah, you'll see that. There'll be loads of progress for that.
Yeah, it was looking good.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Looking really good.
I think now, Sean, I'll cover the gaming news, and then we'll have a quick chat about the little old model or big model, depending on front. So, wargaming news. There's quite a lot, I think, because as it's getting into Christmas, there's actually quite a lot of stuff coming. So, for example, I know we've talked about box releases before, and they've now announced another, I guess, upgrade set, which is Space Marine heads.
Okay.
So it's basically, again, it adds more, like the Combat Patrol box I said about, where it's going to have like all, the decals and an upgrade sprue. Yeah. This is kind of like an upgrade sprue, but it's just heads. You get 51 heads. 30 of them are just bare normal Space Marines without helmets on, and then a few helmeted options as well. Okay. Then you'll have some that have Tacticus armor on, some that have, which is Tacticus armor is like stuff like the Phobos Marines and all those other different Marine designations. And then there'll be 6 helmets for Terminators. And these will include a mixture of a few different like generations of Space Marine helmets. So we'll have like Mark IV helmets, and then we'll have some older helmets like the original, like when you look at the older Space Marine content, the one with the like the grill mask in the face, and there's some of those in there as well because that's making a return. There's B-key helmets you'll probably see as well. And then there's 4 helmets in there as well that is like to designate leadership. So they'll have like Roman, like the horsehair thing on the top and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. There seems to be a lot of like love for Space Marines, obviously because it's their poster boy, but like everything's coloured and designated with Ultramarines. Yeah. So I'm speculating there might be some, because we know that the big narratives this big story narratives coming with Mordian, and I imagine this may be something to do with it, which is why all the Space Marines are getting all this new boxes and kit, and it is Christmas. But yes, I think that's partly what that is. But yeah, cool to get. I can't recall the last time they had a head sprue like that, if they did ever, at least separately. Sometimes you get like old upgrade kits that have a few heads on, but nothing where it's just heads on their own. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's different. I didn't know it even happened.
Because you could get. I'll have to show you like when you can get like upgrade blisters, and it has like some weapons, some arms, some heads, some iconography and stuff, just to kind of spruce up certain models in your army, and they'll be themed on chapters. Like the Ultramarine one will have all like Romany stuff because that's kind of the theme they go for and stuff like that.
So any of your miniatures you have now, you could just chop the heads off and just change it
if you wanted to. Yeah, if it's suited, or you could put like more what are they called? Purity seals on them and some. Yeah, that's what those upgrade. Okay. But this is like literally for heads, so pretty cool. Then they also, actually, you know what I'll do first? I said it last week. At the time of recording last week, Games Workshop announced a new kill team.
Yes.
The new kill team is called Dead Silence. This kill team features two teams. One is Tau and the other is Space Wolves. So one team is a bunch of the stealth suits, basically just a squad of those, of the Tau Empire, and then we're getting Scout Wolves for the Space Wolves. So they're specifically scouts that are trained under the doctrine of the Space Wolves, and they go through a very different like training process to the other chapters as well, like most of them do, which is why they're Scout Wolves, Wolf Scouts, even that sounds better. So the box will include 51 miniatures, data sheets, not 51 data sheets, but the data sheets, tokens, a campaign notebook, which you always get is to tell you like the mission, and then you get a dossier Dead Silence book, which is specific to the lore of the missions, on top of having the campaign notebooks as well. The set is featured in a kill zone. The kill zone is a tomb world, so for Necrons. So it's very Necron, the hieroglyphs, black, luminescent green. Do you know what Necrons look like? So that's coming as well. And one of the cool things about this box that they've like actually said and advertised is that you can play solo, co-op, or competitive. Now, I think the last few boxes you could do that as well, but I think this is the only one where I've noticed they've actually specified about playing it solo and co-op.
Okay.
So like for me and you, if I got this box, for example, me and you, we could play co-op and probably play the Space Wolves together, and then there's an AI system in place where the Tau would just kind of be played by roll dices and stuff like that. So the box is pretty cool. It looks like it's a close quarters sort of game as well, quite small, tight interiors, walls, doorways and all that sort of stuff. A bit like the boarding patrol missions that we've seen previously in Kill Team. It's a pretty cool kill team. I'm happy for Space Wolves. I like a Space Wolf, even if I'm not collecting 40k wolves. It's a pretty cool box, to be fair. We've seen Tau before in Kill Team, I'm pretty sure, but this is the first time we're seeing specifically Space Wolves.
Okay, yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And then to follow that on, they actually announced a bunch of Christmas sets along with a new Warhammer Quest box. So and I'll do the Warhammer Quest box first. It's called Warhammer Quest Darkwater, and it looks like a dungeoneering game. A lot of this one in particular, because I think the last Warhammer Quest box they released, it was set in the old world, which is before the current Age of Sigmar. This one's set during Age of Sigmar, and it's set on the Mortal Realms. And you basically, the heroes you play as, they'll be fighting in the ruins of a Jade Abbey. And it looks like you've got a dwarf, a knight, an elf, and what was the other character? I think there's like a wizard, like your typical like D&D 4 classes on the front cover. And they'll also be fighting beastmen that are inflicted and plagued by Nurgle, which is like Nurgle's Nurgle in 40k and Age of Sigmar, but it's when I've talked about the Death Guard. Yeah, they're all like pestilence and famine. I think I've shown them before.
I think that
Nurgle's Nurgle is the god is the same within both universes.
Okay.
So it's just the beastmen are just all pestilence and pussy and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty cool. There's no more information on it about that other than that, but it looks pretty cool. I'll be interested to see if I can pick up, especially if it's like a Warhammer linked way of getting into like that D&D style of play. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nice that as I said, they announced a whole bunch of stuff, and some of it's really nice. Like it's there's a good foray of stuff. Now, the last thing on the news is something I guess we would usually expect for Christmas, which is the Christmas. They're battle boxes, but you call them the Christmas battle boxes. They release these at the end of the year with the expectation that you're going to pick this up as either a gift for an existing member or maybe a starter army for a new member of the hobby. Yeah. Whether that is across Age of Sigmar or 40k. 40k got a little bit more love than Age of Sigmar, to my surprise. I thought they'd get about the same thing. But anyway, I'll go through it. I'll start with Age of Sigmar. So for the Age of Sigmar, there's four. I thought I had 5 up. Four boxes. 4 boxes. There's the Skyer Warp Spawn, which is basically Skaven, so Ratmen. This box mainly looks like it's consistent of the relaunch for the Skaven Tide launch box. Got tongue twisted today. The Skaven Tide launch box, which was re-release of Skaven, because we hadn't seen new models for the Skaven for years. And then this was when, when I said to you all of my Stormcast Eternal models basically got retconned, because they were the they're the older models. This box set was that set that came out that followed that. So the Stormcast Eternals that are in that box set are all the new skinny flashy ones, but they're not part of this box set. As I said, the Skyer Warpspawn is just a Skaven box, but it looks like it's consistent of that original box set. So it's pretty cool. If you didn't manage to pick up that box set, that's a pretty, I would personally, if I was going to get that, I would pick that Skaven box up if I wanted to go down that route. Next is Lancers of the Crimson Keep, Soulblight Gravelord, so it's the undead side faction, all that stuff. These are actually the counts, the vampire counts, so undead vampires basically. This model looks pretty, this is a pretty cool model kit. It's got lots of like big units, but the biggest thing in it is the prince riding an undead dragon, which is pretty cool. There's like a few different knights in the box, but I mean, it's a prince riding an undead dragon. Do you need to say any more about a box than that? No, you don't. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Then we have Dankhold Rampage. This is Gloomspire Gits, which is kind of like a sect of orcs, like that kind of, you know, like bestial stuff. It's basically, the box just looks like a lot of ogres and troll type creatures. So if you're into that side of things in Age of Sigmar, it's probably a great box. I personally would never go near that theme myself. It's just not my vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last one, Outcast Spikegrove. So this is Sylvaneth, which is like woodland elves, but they're actual like the trees. I think I've had one on here before. Yes, I have. I'm thinking if I did. Yeah, so that model, the Sylvaneth, this is just a whole box.
I was saying it's Iron Groot. Like,
exactly. Yeah. I basically, the way I summarize this is just a lot of murder trees. This box, it's just a lot of trees that want to kill you.
Forest on the move.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So Age of Sigmar, in theory there are some cool boxes, not necessarily anything I would go for straight away. Maybe the Skaven at the most if I wanted that, but again, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, Age of Sigmar's got some cool boxes. And then obviously 40k, there's seven. I had 7 boxes. This obviously is a lot more consistent of the things I'd be more interested in. First, there was the Blissbound Warband. This is the Emperor's Children, so it's a traitor Space Marine chapter. The one thing I really stood out about this box is you get the Demon Primarch Fulgrim. So, you know, remember I told you the Primarchs, they're like, you know, like the demigods and all of that. The Demon Primarch Fulgrims, I'll put a picture of Fulgrim specifically here. I'm gonna go back and watch this whole video because I said about doing that, and that I can never remember. And I have to watch the whole thing back.
Did that, sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's basically he's a serpent, so he's like a big like half lizard, half kind of looks like an elf thing. You'll see it anyway. But yeah, he's pretty cool. That's the coolest thing about the box, if I'm totally honest. Especially if you haven't picked up a Primarch before, you haven't picked up him specifically. That's the perfect box because you'll get all those additional units you can kind of bolster your army with, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Next is the Synthonian Prospect. This is Votann, so like space dwarfs.
Okay.
Is the easiest way to explain it.
I think you've shown me them. I think
I can't. Did I bring Votann onto the podcast?
Familiar, that's why I'm like.
I think I've said Votann quite a lot before, but whether I have or haven't, Space Dwarves. This box looks to be a mix of older and newer model kits. So there's a fair few of it was like when they re-released the Votann, it was like a lot of this box is from that launch, and then there's a few mixtures of some of the like hero units they've recently announced and stuff like that. So if you've not tried Votann or you've been thinking about it, this is probably a pretty good box to try if you want a good mixture of units from new and old sets. I say old sets, it's still all new, but you know what I mean, like new and old sets of the Votann to try out. It's a pretty cool box. Pretty cool. Next is the Crusher Stampede, and this is for the Tyranids. We know what the Tyranids are now. I think Tyranids seem to show up here more than Space Marines, to be honest, when we talk about it. This box is kind of similar to, you know, the Soulblight Gravelords box for Age of Sigmar. It's just lots of big monster Tyranids.
Jeez.
I think it's like 5 or 6 big units. I can't remember the specific ones because I wasn't going for the detail in each box, but it's lots of big, heavy artillery units for the Tyranids. So again, I think that's a good box if you want to bolster your heavy monsters or your heavy units in your Tyranid army and you haven't done so. This is probably a good box to bolster that side up. You could probably just get that box and be covered for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So pretty cool as that. Then the Farsight Cadre. This is Teo. This is just more battle suits, and you've seen Teo before, like the mechs, the Japanese mechs.
This is a Japanese sort of thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's just a big box of them, which is cool. But the battle suits are probably the most popular thing that Teo have that people buy. So yeah, Sean might get into it buying battle suits. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
See, yeah.
Actually, was what I said. Like,
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool set. As I said, the only other thing I had down for that was battle suits. That's what people want. So it's pretty cool.
That's what they want.
Then we had, this is the one that I would be more interested in, and you're probably going to guess why. Iron Halo Strike Force, Space Marines, obviously. You wouldn't believe I'm an Astra Militarum Guard player by the way I get excited about Space Marines, but it just is what it is. This is, for me, this box looked pretty well rounded. I think it covered a lot of grounds for like being able to take on heavy or light units. Like it was a good mix. It had 2 dreadnoughts, pretty cool. I think most of the other boxes or any combat patrols, you get one vehicle. So 2 dreads is a plus if you haven't got any dreads at all, or someone hasn't got into Space Marines. It had a Company of Heroes set in it, which is again another it's a specialist unit. There was a few leaders in there. I think it was another intercessor. I think it was an intercessor squad, or was it? It was a good box. It was very well rounded. I think that if you wanted to get into Space Marines, I feel like that is a really good box to get into because you're going to get a good mix of, like, as I said, vehicles from the dreads, some unique units, because typically with Company of Heroes, you'd probably know, if you're going to get something, you'd know to get it. You wouldn't necessarily just look at the box and go, oh yeah, this looks all right. You'd want to get mainline, do you know what I mean? So this box looks really good for that. So I think this is a good starter box, or again, another good bolster box, to be honest. If you haven't got 2 Dreadnoughts or Company of Heroes, why not?
How much? Do you know roughly how much these boxes will be
I don't think they gave us the prices, but they can range between 150 up. But when you break, because they're always designed that they're a bit cheaper. I mean, knowing GW, it's not by much, but if you can get these if the boxes become available at other retailers, you're potentially on for like a really good deal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to keep an eye on that.
That Heroes one's going to be pricey, I feel. That last one you just said. Yeah,
the space potentially, especially with 2 Dreadnoughts, because they have varied in price before where some of the boxes are a bit cheaper than others. Like I feel like the Tyranid one's got potential to be a little bit less just because it's bigger units and it's not a lot of rank and file. I reckon the Teo one will be cheap because as much as it was all battle suits, it wasn't a lot of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the same thing like with the next one. So like Hellforge Warband is Chaos Space Marines. Again, it's well rounded. It had a lot of mixture of units. It had heavy units, light units, a lot of leadership. One of the things that I was surprised at with the Chaos one was it had a classic Rhino in the box. Now Primaris can still use the classic Rhino, but I just would have assumed there would have been a different vehicle or a different unit. I'm quite surprised they'd include the Rhino, especially with all the stuff at the moment where like the old drop pods and some of the older models are going to Legends. Rhinos seem a bit weird choice. I feel I feel like it was just put in there just to make sure they had a tank. Really, but
a slot on the set.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But the box is well rounded. So aside from the Rhino, if you wanted to pick that box up for a Chaos player, I think that's a pretty good box as well, to be totally honest. And then lastly, this is probably another one which is probably my favourite one. I think is really, really cool. Is the Krieg Siege Platoon. Lots of infantry. It's filled with Krieg infantry up to, I think it had 1 demolition squad, like 2 Kriegsman squads. It had the Krieg command squad, and then it had two of their big artillery guns. This box is really cool. If you know someone who's a guard player or, you know, wants to get into like the military, like a military themed army, this has a good amount of stuff to make them somewhat good, at least viable in a small game, maybe not like against a full on like Chaos army, but this is a really cool box. As I said, lots of Krieg infantry, 2 big artillery cannons. You can't really complain when it comes to Krieg, when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, that's all the boxes. I think there's some really cool stuff. I think Christmas is going to be really cool. And the boxes are always cool, but this is cool. And as I said, if I was going to get any, it'd be the Iron Halo and the Krieg one.
Probably mine's the Hero and the Japanese.
The Tail, the Cadre. Yeah. The Company of Heroes is cool that it's in there. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in that Space Marine. But yes, that's all the wargaming news. God, I need some water after that. So now we move on to Josh's 3 models, but it's not 3 models. It's technically 1, but there's also a dude in it. So it's kind of 2, but also 1 at the same time. Models. There we are.
All right. Let's have a look at this.
Sean, go ahead. Pick
Mammoth
it up.
Of a
This is the Primaris. It's a Primaris Dreadnought, quotations, because it's a variant. This is the Invictor Tactical Warsuit with a specific pose. I bought this secondhand, by the way, so if there was any questions on how to get the hands the way they are, I'm not sure. In terms of doing it myself, anyway. So, yes, Invictus SWAT. I'll tell you now, the main reason I wanted to bring this one is I watched all 3 Matrix. I'd say 3, there's 4, but all 3 Matrix movies. And when Zion gets attacked,
yep,
exactly, you know exactly what that is.
I can see the camera just zoomed in right here.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought him, because I felt like it was a good. And also, again, because I want to make sure we get time for the Xbox stuff. I felt this was a good model to bring. So I'll list off a couple of bits for you, a couple of details. So the difference between this Dreadnought and others is the pilot is alive. So in other Dreadnoughts, a Dreadnought is basically a coffin.
Just a vessel.
It's just
still a vessel for spirit.
Imagine RoboCop.
Yeah,
it's that.
Okay.
So Dreadnoughts are basically RoboCop. The Space Marine in it's still technically alive, but it's only alive because of the machinery. Whereas this is an actual pilot. This is kind of like like Titanfall, kind of that sort of avenue as well.
Yeah. So the pilot can come out of here.
Yes, but not in all the other Dreadnoughts. No, just this one.
Okay.
All the other Dreadnoughts, they are the person effectively. It's fast and stealthy. It came out when we saw the new Phobos Marines, those tactical, cool looking ones. They do stealth operations and stuff like that. That came out along with those. So again, he's a Phobos Marine dreadnought, really, because Phobos Marines wouldn't really want to be taking full scale dreadnoughts with them. And again, it's based, and as I said, this is a stripped down Redemptor dreadnought. So it's the same chassis as a Redemptor, but again, you can see if you look at other dreadnoughts, it's not as clunky or bulky. It's quite
nice,
quite
elegant. That one,
yeah. These are usually armed with incendium cannons, iron hail autocannon, heavy bolters, a frag storm launcher, which you can see at the top, and an Invictor fist. Now, mine technically doesn't have the Invictor fist because I have 2 guns.
Yes,
but. Sod the rules. This is cool. This is why I picked it up, because this is awesome.
Could it have a sword or a staff or something? Or
I don't know his data sheet, but if there's the space to have a melee weapon, you can just do what you want as long as the data sheet. And remember, I've said before, the rule of cool. If you're playing if it was me and you playing, as long as we were it looks like a sword, but it genuinely is this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Who cares? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and so some of the rules of this chap as well is he gets a pre-game scout move. So it allows him to kind of go ahead into combat. So you get an upper hand in finding certain spaces on the board. So if there's an objective, you'd be able to get close to that objective to see your enemy positions and start to assess it that way. And he also gives different support boosts for nearby Phobos Marines as well, which you'll be able to see in the data sheets. And realistically, as I said, they're Invictor warsuits, but they're designed for urban warfare. You might use them for light monster hunting. So some of the bigger, if a Phobos team's going in, but they've got to take out, think of it like Helldivers, they've got to take out a cannon, a Tyranid cannon, which is still a Tyranid creature. You might want to take one of these as backup to help take that down and not just have the Phobos Marines trying to do it on their own. Because again, Phobos are stealth, light armor and all that sort of stuff, right? And yeah, it's a cool. I said this particular model is wicked because it looks like the suits out of the Matrix again, which is why I picked it up, because someone had done the dual hands. But they're cool units anyway. I think it was a nice step away from your typical dreadnoughts, which are again the coffin sarcophaguses that they sit in. But yeah,
so the dreadnought that's inside though, could that come out and fight on the battlefield normal?
No, dreadnought has to be piloted.
Has to be piloted.
Yeah, so this one has to be piloted by a Space Marine.
No, but I say if the dreadnought came out of that, could a normal Space Marine jump in and take over, use that machine?
Oh, what if this?
So the dreadnought that's inside comes out. That's it.
There's no dreadnought in there.
Oh,
this is the dreadnought.
Oh, sorry. The Space Marine that's in there is he ready for?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so, because I've seen people customizing where the pilot is standing out of it. So yeah, I can't see why not. I think when you play though, I don't think typically it would be left on the battlefield for someone to take. It would just be gone. But yes, that could be a cool rule to have that.
So there's not a rule if the dreadnought blows up and the pilot survives, it can carry on?
No.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just.
No, that's a cool.
I don't know what the rules.
See, it's good. You're thinking outside the box, but no, there isn't that. But that would be a cool
Ejector seat or something.
rule. But that I say that I'm not 100% on the data sheet, so it could easily be that there is something in the data sheet. I'm just not 100% on the top of my head.
Like,
but I don't think
a certain
there is.
percentage, like you could just bail.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's my 3 models, but 1 model, but two models because it's a Dreadnought and a guy. 1 model this week because, as I said, I want us to go. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on this week. There's going to be more stuff next week when we record for Wargaming as well. But that's all I've got for you this week. Sean, I don't know if you have anything else for gaming other than obviously what our big session is this week.
No, it's just going to be the Xbox talk.
So I guess I'll introduce it a little bit. Obviously, as you said, we wanted to talk about this properly. We know all the stuff going on with Xbox. It's pretty crazy.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
And as you know, we said, and we talked about it and we kind of worked on some notes together. And Sean's going to sort of take us through some of the topics and we'll have a little chat about some of the things and kind of discuss it with the time we've got. So yeah, I don't know where you want to start because there's...
Well, I know maybe some people don't know, some people do know. Obviously, a lot of people know. Obviously, Xbox right now have been going through kind of everything at the moment. Yeah, literally. From the not showing prices to prices changing to everything in between. Like there's been a lot of just confusion with the brand at the moment, like going on. And obviously this week they announced the price of the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X. So we waited for that for so long to even happen. So that happened. Then it was like the day after they said, all right, we're going to change the Game Pass price. It's pretty much, it was literally almost like a day or two after they decided to just switch up everything again. So, yeah, so right now they're going through all this like not even heated, maybe. I don't know if you say heated, but
I don't know.
a lot of confusion, a lot of people were annoyed. Some people are embracing it, like they're cool with the situation. But a lot of the fans are just not happy. Obviously, Xbox Game Pass is obviously getting changed. The prices are being changed. So with the price changes, they're adding stuff as well, which is meant to try and benefit the gamer as well. Yeah, I know. But it's not going to be the best add-in, the best add-ons. But they're trying to do something to help the gamers, basically. So what can I break this down? All right, I'm going to go through the actual tiers first. I'm going to break down the tiers so you know what's going on. So we have Game Pass Core, but it's now called Game Pass Essential. So they changed the name of that as well straight away. And that was originally, I'm going to give the UK prices here, and obviously US as well, but I'll give the UK prices. So it was $6.99 a month here, and now it's still $6.99 a month. But what they've done, they've added there's new benefits and different features now to that tier. So before you was only getting 25 curated console games, member deals and discounts and online console multiplayer. So now with the same price, now you're getting Xbox PC and cloud like gaming, 50 instead of 25, you're getting 50 now games, created games, unlimited access to cloud gaming, and stream your own game longer than stream your own games as well. You also get member deals and discounts. The online multiplayer is still there as well. It says Microsoft rewards for from gaming up to 25k points. So you're going to get reward points as well. Every tier is giving you extra reward points you could earn as well, and obviously in-game benefits as well for like games like Riot Games and stuff. So I think that's Valorant and stuff like this. I think
that's just the perk stuff,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's just like in-game.
Yeah. I think they for Core, I think they increased the PC Game Pass price as well, didn't they?
Slightly. I think it's like a couple quid.
In dollars, it's $16.50. I don't know what it was before. But I know it's gone up a bit.
I think here wasn't that much. I think it's the same. It's gone up like a couple pounds.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's not as much as the other tiers have gone up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It wasn't that much. The PC one is still cheaper than the Ultimate one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. And it's weird because it's funny that the lack of like Xbox published stuff as well. It's just the games that are there. Like there's no studio stuff at all.
Not at the that's what I'm saying. That's what everyone was asking. Where's the games? The years have gone by. Everyone's asking where's the games from the studios that we've acquired.
I feel like it would have made more sense with the games to only offer first party stuff at the lowest one.
At the lowest one.
Not just, what was it? What did you say it was? 50 games?
Yes.
Just 50 random ass games.
Yeah, 50 random games.
I get, it's a double-edged sword. I get from the angle of you need the variety to get new people in because people, but that's like Netflix saying, oh, if you have the ad-free version, you don't get any of the content made by Netflix. That doesn't make any sense, dude, at all.
As well.
They should have done first party only.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, like first party only, but then some games where they've developed with a studio and, like worked with them, then fine. Okay, that's absolutely fine. But 50 random ass game does not make a single dime of sense.
I mean, yeah, for $10.99 a month, I guess it's not
too bad. And that's like, being devil's advocate. Obviously, getting 50 games for $10 a month is great. In premise, it's great. It's great. But remember, we're talking about and critiquing this from the angle of what Xbox has done as a position, because it's like anything. If and I'm going to say, just like 2013 when they announced the Xbox One, if they had announced it differently, because when you think about it, most of the stuff they wanted to do has happened. Yes. Online connections, all of that stuff's happened, right? So if they just thought about how they announced this stuff, I don't think this would have come off as bad.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been.
But they just went.
Literally, that's
it.
Yeah, it is. There you go.
And then they're posting and then it comes off patronising because then they just post videos, go, oh yeah, this is all this great stuff you get on. No one wants to hear that. You've just told them it's going up like 50%, as they say. No one cares. No one cares. Anyway, yeah, we've only just got to core and it's already kicked off. Anyway, yeah, sorry, go on.
I'll run through the next one quickly. The Game Pass Standard, which is now changed the name to Game Pass Premium. So that's actually, what am I doing?
No, that's it. That's the next one, isn't it?
That is the next one. Sorry. Yeah. Confused the hell out of myself.
Yep.
But that's saying that's $10.99.
No, it's...
Oh, wait. I skipped past it. So the other one was $6.99. Yeah. So this one, the premium one, is $10.99 a month. Sorry, I said $6.
Yeah, because I've got it in dollars. It's $10 for core, then $15 for standard. So we must have about the same price difference, right?
Yes.
$6.99 and then $10.99. So it's about the same in pounds.
Yeah. So this one, the premium one is $10.99 a month, and now you're getting with this one, instead of having, you're gonna have 200 plus games. Same thing, access to cloud gaming, unlimited access to cloud gaming. Same deals and discounts, online multiplayer, new studio game titles added up to a year after launch.
Yeah,
so like Call of Duty,
no launch
access straight away. So like Call of Duty, I'm guessing that'll be like Forza and everything like that.
Yeah.
If there's a new Halo or something, it depends on what it is. So you'll just have to wait a year after to get access to it. Crazy. Which is actually insane. Sorry, that's wild.
That is just as bad as giving you 50 random games.
That's what I'm saying. That is actually very bad.
And it gets worse because we've obviously watched it in live, but we're reading it back to you and talking like we've obviously made notes to make sure we've got like when you're reading it back, like it just sounds even worse.
Yeah, it sounds crazy when you actually say it out loud.
It doesn't make sense.
And then you'll still have the in-game benefits as well with this one, like Riot Games, Overwatch, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna move on to the PC one, which was $9.99 a month. Now it's gone up to £13.50.
Yes, that's about what it was in dollars. Yeah, so
it's only a couple quid. That's what I say. It's only a couple quid.
Yeah. But I've got
with that one, you got 400 plus games.
Yeah.
Day one studio titles, including Call of Duty. So
yeah, from what I got, nothing really changed other than the price.
Yeah, everything pretty much stayed exactly the same. But also you're getting on there the EA Play Vault access, which was there already, and now they've added the Ubisoft Classic access, the 40 plus games.
So just like Ultimate.
Yeah, the older classic games there from Ubisoft. Same discounts, same benefits, in-game benefits as well. So that's kind of gone up a little bit. And then we move on to the Ultimate, Game Pass Ultimate. So Ultimate, obviously $14.99 a month. Now it's gone up to £22.99 a month. Same features pretty much as before, but they've added now guaranteed 75 plus day one games launches per year, but I never say what games.
And it doesn't say first party. We talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah,
which I think is a scam.
It's going to be any old random
That's a scam,
Tom, Dick and Harry game. That's going to happen day one.
That is craziness.
You have unlimited access still to the cloud gaming. Day one studio titles, same thing like Call of Duty, everything like that. Forza will be day one. EA Play Vault, Ubisoft plus Classic Vault as well, access. Online multiplayer, same thing with the deals and benefits, deals and discounts, sorry. And the in-game benefits of Riot Games, Overwatch and stuff like that. So it's pretty much all they've really added is the Ubisoft, to be fair, and I think
the Fortnite crew.
Oh yeah, and the Fortnite crew. Sorry, forgot about that. Fortnite crew as well.
Of course you do, because I'll get into it when you finish. Because that
Go on.
that Fortnite crew thing has absolutely pissed me off. And I know probably when you listen to this podcast, you can tell I'm quite hot-headed when I want to be passionate about something, but I don't want that. No. I don't want to justify to me something I don't want.
It's true.
It's not like Netflix where there's content I don't want, I don't have to access it, it doesn't affect the price.
It doesn't affect, it won't affect the price.
They're using Fortnite crew as a justification for Ultimate. Children aren't gonna that play Fortnite aren't going straight for Ultimate. It makes sense. Essential tier, something like that. That makes sense for a kid. You get them the lower grade. They only want to access online. Blah blah blah. I don't want to pay. Again, this is in dollars. Sorry, I did everything in dollars. I don't want to be paying an extra $11.99, effectively adding an extra $11.99 a month onto a subscription for something I'm never going to touch. It doesn't make any sense. It's not like the perks where if I don't play the games on the perks, they're just there for a benefit of everyone. This isn't. This doesn't benefit anyone. Even the people that play Fortnite crew, how many of them are going to... It's free to play. How many of them are actually going to have Game Pass? Fortnite crew, I guarantee you, does not cost you $30 a month. Why are you going to pay $30 a month? Oh, because it includes Fortnite crew. No, you're not.
Yeah, because that obviously my daughter plays obviously Fortnite, but just on Switch, so she doesn't play it on my Xbox. No. I don't even have it installed on my Xbox.
No,
Do you know what I mean? I've had it installed a little sometimes here and there, but I'm not thinking, I'm going to dive back in because I've got a Fortnite crew now. No, it was...
And look, for people that know me and listen to this podcast, I know I've always been an advocate that I'm not a fan of Fortnite for all the reasons I say I'm not a fan of Fortnite, right? But this has nothing to do. This generally doesn't make any tactile sense to include that onto the bloody subscription.
Yeah, it's like for instance, like obviously Netflix, they've literally announcing maybe they're gonna have Champions League football. Now, same thing right now. You just had the boxing. They've just had wrestling events. The price didn't change on the subscription. Like, these are all live events as well. But like, at least they're not upping your subscription just because they've got live events coming down the line. There's just...
But at least that would make sense.
Yeah.
If they went, the subscription's got to go up $10 a month, but we've added football, live wrestling, we're adding live, whatever, right? That makes sense. This is just, we've upped the price, and to justify it, we've given you Fortnite crew. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's almost like you're being charged the 50% increase. You're being charged to have Fortnite crew included.
Yeah.
If you don't include the Ubisoft stuff, which, by the way, all of this stuff, they're just going by the value factor, not like how much it physically costs, not the value to the customer, the value of the product towards the subscription and its cost. Ubisoft, even if there was a small increase, Ubisoft could have been justifiable on its own. If it maybe be, I don't know, a few more dollars a month, I'll just and we give you.
It's true, yeah. That could have made sense. Yeah.
If it was $2-3 a month extra, and they were like, we've already added EA Play, and we've now added Ubisoft, and to ensure we can keep providing that, we're going to increase by a small percentage. They could have even said like 10% increase or whatever crap. They haven't done that. And that's what I'm saying, that the way they've announced this has absolutely screwed them yet again. And my frustration, I love Xbox. My frustration is not necessarily that it's gone up. It's everything that's built up, or hadn't, in this case, built up to announce a change in price.
Yeah.
things change price all the time. And, you know, I'm not one of the people that's going to start going, and an economic crisis on top, because that's a totally different kettle of fish. You know, like if I was being realistic, I wouldn't factor my gaming stuff into the effect of my economic crisis, because I'm thinking about food and living. That's different for me anyway, right? But it just does. None of it makes sense. The justifications for just Game Pass alone doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I think off the back of all of that, I think that while it's good intention that Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, all of those US companies at least, are saying they're not going to change the price
of their Game Pass.
They're only saying that to get people to buy it.
No, 100%. I would as well.
I don't feel like that isn't. I don't feel like that's a, you know, like flag for good and prosperity. We've got stuff in the back of the locker room. We need you to start clearing it out, mate. We'll keep it the same price. Look, when I left Microsoft, what do you think? In fact, not even when the Game Pass price changed before, we still had it at the old price. You best believe we were stacking it up, and it wasn't because, you know, it was the Samaritan thing. Well, we were telling people it was still cheaper, but like we were selling it through because we had it cheaper, not because we were trying to help. And I get a business would do that, and that's exactly what these three are doing. So people trying to say they're good Samaritans, it's got naught to do with that.
It's true.
It's to sell through product.
Because when they got rid of them boxes, then what they're going to do? Sell you the new one.
Yeah, exactly. Of course they are. Exactly.
That's all that's going to happen.
Crazy, dude. Trust me.
But yeah, it's just wild. Obviously, even like Sarah Bond, when she was at Gamescom a few weeks ago, whatever, or last month, whenever, saying Game Pass and everything, the prices are very good right now. This is the best time to be gaming. And then just do this like a month or two after. It's just insane. And again, I'm thinking back to when I worked at Microsoft. So they even have the same attitude with Office. When they're trying to sell you Office, if you say about, could it change, blah, 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 you're meant to say, I don't know when it's going to change, so you best buy it now because it'd be cheaper now. That's the same thing. It's the best time to get gaming now. Yeah, because you're going to up it in 10 minutes. The whole spreadsheet.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like that's how it comes off. Yeah. I guess I can be cynical as well, because you get a better understanding of some of this stuff, at least to an extent, working for a company and knowing that business model. And this is, again, another reason why I'm annoyed, because it's just all of it follows the same thing. I'm telling you, we wouldn't have known a thing about this happening until the day after. That's how bad it was for us. We would have been going through the ringer with customers complaining, and we wouldn't even know what we were doing. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. That's why no one here knows. No one knows. Yeah. Because it's just, they just do it the same way they do everything else.
It's just bad, like how they just set it up on everyone, like just kind of stuck it to everyone like that, like just out of the blue, because it was totally random. And like I say, next week you've got the handhelds coming out, and
it'll affect their sales.
It's going to affect the sales already. Yep. And obviously we've just witnessed. Obviously now we just talk about, obviously there's prices changing and stuff like that, but then they've now literally yesterday or the day before backtracked. So it's absolutely insane. And the thing is, I told you, they've done this before. Like, this was years ago. I saw they've done this before as well. They announced the price. People got angry. They said, no, all right, we'll stop it. So now they've done it again. So obviously people now that have theoretically cancelled their subscription, which people have done.
If they want to go back.
People have cancelled subscriptions. So if they want to go back now, they're going to be paying
the bigger price.
The new prices. If you stuck around, like I have, I'm not going to be paying them prices apparently, because they've said, it was at US and UK. Definitely not. And
there's a few other territories, I think. But
yeah, there's a few other territories in Europe, I think, are not going to be affected by this new price change. But if you are making a new subscription, it will lock you into the new prices.
And do you know what's funny about that? But when I heard that initially, I thought, oh, that's good. You know, well done, they're listening. But actually, now that I think about it, it shouldn't have got to that point where they've basically been bullied into kind of damage controlling that thing. Do you know what I mean? Because like, why?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, why get to? Someone must have thought about it and gone, we're going to get a bad reaction.
I know. Obviously, I know they've got shareholders, stakeholders, whatever, all them holders, that they obviously don't want to get their money and stuff like that. That's fair enough. Obviously, you paid into the business. But it's like, theoretically, why they couldn't they have like a little survey or something, or even if they can't even you can't even trial something like that. I was trying to think so they could even trial it.
They could have done control groups and invited people to like they like ye old times. They could have got a group in and sold Game Pass to them at that new price and stuff, and not told them what the product is to get feedback from how people would have felt about a different product going through the same thing.
If you start the package, same thing. Give them that whole package. That's it, and they said, "Look, bang,
how much is
this much?"
Yeah. That there's lots of, but again, no one does any of that, and they're probably using Copilot out the wazoo to figure this out, like they would, because even to that, to your point, they got rid of the Game Pass discounts.
Yes.
Now, I know we talked about, we said, 10%'s a bit of a... But think about it in the grand scheme of it all.
I get it.
I'd rather 10% discounts on DLC than bloody Fortnite Crew. Give me the $11.99 back on a sale.
It's true.
I know, and as I said...
It's only 10%. It's not like the end of the world. Like... It's a couple of quid.
I know it's only 10%, but also I don't want the subscription to go up because of $11.99's worth of fucking Fortnite points. Do I?
No, I guess
this particular one, there's argument for both. It's only 10%. It's not that deep. There are still some percentages because they're giving you back 10 to 5% depending on your subscription back in reward points. So there is some sort of consolation prize, I guess. But like even that, like why change even that? Why? 10% buying a COD pack, instead of it being £4.50, it'd be £4 like what, 20?
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
It's not.
But again, I get the other side. It is not that much equally as well. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, obviously when they announced the changes in price straight away for Game Pass, especially for I have Ultimate Game Pass, so I'm on the highest tier. They put straight away brand new like games into Game Pass straight away. The Ubisoft thing, like 20 Ubisoft games or whatever, like straight into the Game Pass catalog. So I mean that's pretty cool. Obviously, Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed titles. There was Far Cry's in there and all that stuff as well for Ubisoft. So but it's all older games from the Ubisoft classics.
It's the older classic stuff.
It's not anything of the newest.
I think Ubisoft's and Hogwarts is a shame because it's almost like trying to put like sauce over burnt food. Like, sure, it will improve the taste, but the burnt food is still being eaten. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame because I think that Ubisoft thing would have been a really good positive thing that's kind of been a bit overshadowed by all the negativity.
Yeah. I mean, saying obviously, with negativity, especially as they just had obviously this whole week, pretty much the Call of Duty, the beta, which was out. I know it didn't do great in the numbers. Like you said, people cancelling subscriptions. I guess unless you pay to pre-order it, you'll get into the beta, I guess, that way. But it's going to affect, obviously, the November 14th launch of the game.
Yeah, of course it will.
Because you have to have the Ultimate to play that, because you can't get it on the premium one or the core one, the basic one.
Well, even that, you still have to have one of those subscriptions to play online.
Exactly.
So no matter what, you're done for.
Yeah, I think the online thing is, I still feel like that's wild to just pay for to play online, because it's just free to play online. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Fortnite, you don't have to pay anything. Just if I just got a new box today, I'll load up Fortnite and start playing, innit?
I guess with some of that, it's. I mean, Microsoft, especially with like how much protection there is on the access when it's free, because I know that was the biggest issue between PlayStation and Xbox. Was Xbox barely got hacked because the money was going into that protection. PlayStation was getting hacked every other 2 weeks because they didn't have necessarily like a strong enough protection infrastructure. But again, that's another kettle of conversation. Yeah, I don't know. I think because I want to talk about the hardware, but I think the whole Game Pass situation is probably like a 2 out of 10 for like, it's really bad.
No, it's bad.
Like it's really bad. You know, like there's things where like, even Sabrina, when I told Sabrina we were talking about it, she was like, oh, you know, just because you worked at Microsoft, don't bash them and stuff. I'm like, I'm not. They're like, even when we get to the hardware stuff, there are some things I want to have like a pushback conversation, but the Game Pass stuff, there's no way you can like, I just don't think it's justified in any way. And again, if they just announced it and discussed it properly, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because they just went,
it was a surprise. Literally flip the switch, bang, there's the new prices for you. Like,
And I feel
it's like a Gamescom. You just had Gamescom.
Yeah.
If you announced it then and said, "Oh, in a few weeks," like teed us up for it at least. Like let us know. Like not just bang. Like
imagine if they announced it before Tokyo Game Show and they went into it would be cooked. They would no one would. I wouldn't watch it. I'd be not whatever.
They could have put it there. I don't care where they put it. They could have put it somewhere.
They could have explained it at Tokyo. No, it wasn't. They could have explained it there. And I feel like, and I think I said this to you, Phil not being in that presentation is very telling.
He knew something.
Because he went to Kojima and Kojima celebrated him and all the work he's done. But he went to that, but wasn't in a conference for Xbox. I think that's very telling. And I think
he went to hide his face for a little bit.
Yeah. And, there's... Sorry, I'm going on another thing. There's Team Phil, and then there's Team Phil is the Antichrist of Xbox, right? Yeah. I'm very much in the pocket of Team Phil.
Yeah.
And again, from my knowledge of how they typically do things, I feel like Phil has been slightly sidelined, and that's why things are happening, because it would always happen. If Sarah Bond is listening to what Satya is saying, Phil will get sidelined beyond belief. Trust me when I'm telling you this. Phil probably... He can't do anything.
Yeah, I get it.
Absolutely. So, and sure, you can still argue the point that, well, he's the boss of that sect. He should be able to do stuff. And yes, he probably should be doing more, to the point if he is going to leave, he may as well go on a chariot of fire. But unfortunately, that isn't happening. No. And I think he's just been circumvented the whole time. I think he's in a position where he can't say no.
He can't say no, yeah.
Because even Satya recently, He's given his like running the business stuff to he's made a new CEO role and given it to someone else. So while Satya is the president of the company, someone else is in charge of the business side of the business now. So the commercial stuff. So all of these groups are now it's just that the hierarchy doesn't make sense. You got the leader, with the president, with the face and president. Like it's just no wonder it's all anyway. That's another conversation for not this podcast. But yes, Game Pass. Disappointing. I think now the next gen hardware rumors, I think this is going to be, for me at least, a time where there is a bit of pushback on arguing about Xbox, I think, because I do think that people have jumped the gun because of the back of the Game Pass stuff.
Yes.
And I think people are just making stuff up from small bits of seedlings.
Yes.
And then are making this wham, bam, thank you, ma'am story.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the hardware is going to come still.
They said.
That's a given.
They have a deal with AMD.
Yeah,
they can't not make hardware.
Exactly, it's going to happen. Even when they announced it, Sarah was saying the same thing, like, last year, whatever. She kept saying, oh, our new box or our new hardware is going to push the boundaries and push the limits to this, that, and the other. So it's going to happen. So when everyone's saying, oh, it's not, they got deals. They got deals and things in place that it's
people were saying they're cancelling hardware because Costco was selling through their stock. Clearance.
Yeah.
Costco had Best Buy. Clearance.
Oh,
that's it. They've stopped making consoles. Someone's doing a clearance sale before Christmas. Do you actually like think about it? No wonder the places are doing clearance. They're getting rid of for new stock. We used to do it at Game. Yeah. We'd get rid of the Xbox One S, say, for example, on its own. We'd sell through that cheap, clear it, because we were going to get a 1S with Halo in the box. Of course you're going to clear stock out. It's Christmas.
Yeah. You cleared stock out before. Like, you still got Black Friday coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
You got all these things coming up right now, so there's going to be sales.
I think
even right now, like in my shop, there's PlayStation 5s are on sale, like £100 off the digital version. Like, so they're there. Like, sales are happening.
Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Just because one company has done a clearance sale doesn't mean that a whole division of a company is ceasing.
It's getting cancelled.
Do you know what I mean? Like, calm down. And you know, there's been announcements from people on those teams saying that we're still working on hardware.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people have only gone off the fact that because they announced the Game Pass hike, and there was no messaging, people then just they're just going cloud, they're not going to do all that stuff. Have they said that? No. They haven't. Right now, they haven't gone, we're only going cloud.
It's crazy.
Calm down. Please.
I know obviously the messaging looks like that because obviously
I get it.
An Xbox.
Yeah, I get it.
So I understand why they're.
But that messaging's been like that for like a year, dude. It hasn't like they went 10 minutes ago and went, everything's an Xbox, cancel the machines.
By the way, everything's Xbox.
Yeah, no, calm down. Please.
But
I don't know. And there's something I saw as well, like there was a lot of like code names that were going around as well. So
Yeah.
there's like Kennen, Omni, and Horseman. So there's a few different code names that are related to Xbox production.
Okay.
Which again, the code names are usually hardware. You know, so I think for those that wouldn't know those code names and know that there's code names exist, like calm down. I absolutely agree. Cussing Game Pass, agree, do it happily. Yeah. I love seeing it because you've already done the magic where they're pushing back on how they're making the price go up in certain territories. But the hardware stuff makes it worse because what happens is it devalues the product. Then they have to increase the price of other products. You end up with another price hike, and then what's going to happen? You're all going to kick off again, and you're all going to go, they're stopping hardware. And then it becomes a cycle.
That's what it is.
So just calm. Let's fight the battles. We can definitely fight the hardware battle, and I absolutely agree. We should push them so that they can say, like, give us a million definitive answer. But for now, fight the Game Pass fight. Get that back to whatever position we can be in and stuff. But the hardware, calm down.
Yeah, I mean, the Game Pass, hopefully they just stop the Game Pass price, like, period. Just keep the tiers what they've done, just added what they've just added. Leave it at the price we're at. Mm-hmm. That's just perfect. Yeah. We don't need anything more, to be honest with you. But I think as well they should add the day one stuff to the other tiers. Because I don't
think that makes sense to not to. Like, why would you not add that stuff?
Yeah, because you could get someone, I don't know, say for instance my daughter, she's not going to pay over 400 games. Mm-hmm. If she just wants to pay 50 games and then, like you say, the new games come in, might think, oh, that's... Do you know what I mean? Like, give it a try. But to even the middle tier, to wait a year to play something, that's insane.
You know what? Even if
that is,
they should have just made a tier that's day one releases, and you literally pay an X amount a year, and all you get is access to, like, if you don't want to play any old crap, and you only ever play COD every year, and you only ever play Halo, or like, just do a tier.
Yeah, because that would be like, say for instance, like WWE 2K, what I play. So that if you get the highest edition, it gives you the day pass, the passes for the new content.
Yeah,
content
right.
passes.
Yeah.
So that as soon as that drops, you get it.
Just do
so
that.
You're paying that extra for that. So that makes sense if you do the same thing for that. You pay the extra, but you could still pay for your lower one, but then add on, I don't know, if it's like a $5 or a couple quid extra to get them games coming in.
You could even do a tier, like if you really thought about it, you could do a tier where it's first party only.
Yeah.
And new releases that are first party, make that X amount. Fine.
Done.
But then all of them, in fact, you know what, I could have even got around, I'm just thinking about, I could have even got around, looking at my face, if they'd done like benchmark first party titles only. Halo, Gears, Forza, Flight Sim, you know, like the games that put Xbox on the map,
yeah.
Put those in there regardless, even if it's 3 games, even if it was Gears, Halo, and Forza. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you'd realistically put on a pass like that. Let's say it's those 3 because I can't think right now. Those 3 on every version.
Why not?
Easy. PlayStation could do the same thing. They could pick, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff for PlayStation. Uncharted, Horizon, and God of War, Last of Us, whatever. There's just a pass that just has those 3 things, and then whatever tier. So you're always guaranteed those 3 games no matter what, and then whatever the other passes are. You could have done that. It's
always giving you a taste of the experience of what that company has made, and then obviously every extra.
That makes way more sense. Give people a teaser of the first party stuff. But then I guess the difference with Xbox is we don't even know if they want to focus on first party like that anymore because of the releasing it on everything.
Everything, yeah.
But even so, if someone's consciously made a choice to adopt your product, to adopt an Xbox, why wouldn't you make sure the tiers you expect people to buy don't have some of the first party titles on it?
Yeah, 100%. Like you're buying it, you've literally gone out and bought that box physically to play a certain game, and then you're trying to tell me I need to get the ultimate tier to even play that game is wild to me.
I guess let's be thankful they haven't clocked on about the account sharing stuff and fobbed that off as well. Because
that's coming. That's probably coming soon. Trust me.
They could very easily quickly switch that off.
They will switch that off quick. 100%.
They could even do a tier pass where it's like that where you can share.
Yeah.
Like I would have preferred that. Oh, you know, Game Pass Ultimate, there's £100 tier, but you get to share it with 4 people.
Yeah, because what? Look at Nintendo. 8 accounts can share the one.
Yeah.
Can share everything, all these games. the same thing.
Yep.
Just make an account and share it.
Yeah.
Because like you say, the kids want to play something or whoever. Everyone's got a nice volume of games to play out of whatever, and you pay for how many people on that pass. That's crazy. Like, sorry, I'm just
No. Don't be serious. Look, I think with the hardware, because I'm conscious of time, and I've got one little bit I want to cover with the FTC.
Go on.
I think with the hardware, I think those who just generally pick up consoles, it's a bit of a turbulent time. If you're a parent looking to buy a console, I could get why you'd be confused on whether to pick an Xbox up. Because there's still that element of like, no matter what, as much as we talk about it because we know about it.
Are you going to really spend $1,000 on maybe $1,000 or $2,000, whatever, on a PC? That then you will have to upgrade parts for, and they're not cheap. And if you can even get the parts that you need as well, or the processors or whatever, because they sell out quick. And
they won't do that. They'll do what they'll do what the other 8 gajillion people that live on the planet. They'll just buy a PlayStation.
But that's what I'm trying to say. The consoles will always be there. Like, I don't think consoles are going in.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going. Yeah. I'm saying I get why a parent would be confused, because you're like, well, because remember, unlike us where we know, if a parent's seeing all this stuff online saying, oh, Xbox might be stopping its hardware, regardless if they said they're not or not, that seed of doubt is there for a parent to go, well, if I get a PlayStation, I know it's going to be all right. And 90% chance that parent has owned a PlayStation over an Xbox. So even from the smallest thing of a seed of doubt will affect the hardware, because people will go to the hardware that's not having a problem. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's the hardware. As I said, slight pushback on people going crazy about it, but there's still a lot to discuss about it, I think, anyway. And yeah, so then the last thing I wanted to talk about quickly on the FTC was there was a post by one of the former FTC, people that worked on the merger for Activision, Lena Khan, and she basically scrutinized Microsoft, obviously, because of the security. And she basically said that, so since acquiring Activision, all it's done is led to significant price hikes and layoffs. After, I think, probably during that probably wasn't part of the deal, like laying people off like that, because you're meant to be boosting the business at that big section, right? So originally, FTC opposed the deal because they were worried it would reduce competition and increase consumer costs. It has increased consumer costs. Game Pass has gone up almost consecutively over a few months.
Yep.
You then had the layoffs. They cut nearly 2,000 to the end of last year, followed by almost another 1,000 the September, and then we've had 9,000, and obviously me being part of that 9,000 in July.
Yeah.
And then they closed the Initiative studio as well. So they laid off nearly 15,000 people, closed an Xbox studio, and now you question why, and you're asking why is the FTC blocking this sort of merger?
There you go.
Evidence is kind of in the pudding. Again, they cancelled a bunch of games. Loads of stuff's been cancelled since then. Tons of stuff. Subscription again. Game Pass has gone up twice, in fact, since the deal's closed. 2 increases.
Yes.
And reducing content towards that, as we've discussed today. So basically that's what she covered. So that's what she said in her. But again, you can also take it with a pinch of salt if you don't care, because she doesn't work for the FTC anymore.
There you go.
But that's basically it. I just want you to know that some of the stuff the FTC pushed back has happened.
Yeah.
So think about that as well when you're arguing the point.
I'll say one more thing.
Yes.
GTA 6. This game's going to change the outcome of most of these passes and stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this game is going to change everything. The pricing of games, subscriptions, it's all going to change. I feel like if this price hike is now, it's happening, is it gearing up for this? Because I feel like
maybe.
Is it going to drop on Game Pass day one?
No, I don't. No way.
Because you'd think, if you're paying a significant amount, you think, okay, I need that on here. Or help talk to them to get it on here, because we're paying X amount for this. But price of games are going to go up anyway, regardless. Where they're £70 now, pretty much, or 80 quid, it's going to go up. Like these old editions now, everything's going to go up.
We'll see. Let's see about GTA 6. I don't think it will, but it'll be interesting. It's an interesting point for the reason why the prices might go up. Could be for things like that, but we'll see.
Because no other game is going to change the game like that.
Apart from Battlefield 6 tomorrow. But anyway,
we're done.
Yeah, that's it.
We're done for this episode, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate everyone listening. As you just said, Battlefield 6 is out tomorrow. We will be streaming, so
yeah, check it out.
Check our socials online as well. So Twitch, Pixel Forge podcast. Check us out there. So we will be streaming. Hopefully that tomorrow.
I'll definitely be probably all weekend, and we'll work out when Sean can pop in Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday. I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm working. So in that, hopefully I can get on the stream at some point during the days. But yeah, that's obviously Josh has got his website, Starline Forge.
Mm-hmm.
Check out his stuff for the miniatures and all the tabletop stuff on there. Game Party Pro for myself. If you're in the mood for a gaming party, hit me up. Still excited, obviously, for the event coming up. So I'm gonna have leaflets and stuff sorted out very soon.
Comic-Con, yeah.
So yeah, that's that. And
cool.
Yeah, it's been a good week, and we'll catch you next week, guys.
See you later. See ya.
Peace.